The New York Islanders lose 4-3 to the New Jersey Devils in overtime, blowing another 3-1 third period lead. Oh, as Islander fans, we should be used to this. And I guess I kind of am because I'm not really that upset about it. It's just kind of the way things are today in today's NHL. It does seem to happen to the Islanders more than other teams, and we seem to give up 6-on-5 goals and rarely seem to score them, rarely ever get an empty netter. We're on 6-on-5. We're just more than happy to keep a puck out of the net. And tonight was a fluke, but the point of the matter is it still stands. So it's a disappointing loss. However, there's still a lot of good things to point out about tonight's game. Getting the point for us tonight was very big, and the reason I say that is because we're heading out on a 5-game road trip out into Western Canada, which is usually a very hard place for the Islanders to play. So to be starting the road trip under 500 would not have been good. At least we're going out there 500, and even if we can hope for like a 3-2 kind of road swing, which is optimistic with how many injuries and everything we have right now. So if we can come 3-2 out of that road trip, we'll end up back home a game over 500, a lot closer to getting our players back and still hovering around the 500 mark, getting ready to get our players back and take a run. And that's kind of the way I see it. I kind of thought the better team won tonight. So they outplayed us, not by a large margin, uh, basically a small margin. But if you took the game as a whole, you'd have to give it to the Devils. So to get a point out of this game is a positive for us. Like I always say, we're in the points collecting business, and this one. It's not a happy point because of the way we lost it, but it's a happy point because it was against a good team, and we're down 5 guys. We're down 5 guys, and we looked like a team tonight that was missing 5 important players from our team. But I think you got to give credit to the rest of the Islanders who played tonight and got us a point out of this game, whether we gave up a lead or not. So, like I said, I'm not overly disappointed with the Islanders tonight. I wouldn't say they gave it their greatest effort either, and usually that's my big one common denominator of whether I'm happy or not is whether we have a great effort. We had spurts of effort tonight. We didn't have a 60-minute effort tonight, but we had our moments. Jersey had their moments. It was just kind of one of those games. It's not like we were getting dominated out there, but it wasn't good. Like I said, we just kind of looked like a team that was missing 5 regulars tonight. So to get a point, I'm pretty happy about it. So anyway, it starts off really good in the first period with or correction, yeah, first period, Simon Holmstrom scoring his second goal of the year. And it seems that Simon only scores beautiful goals because man, that was beauty. But Butch said the fourth line finally scored. Well, not quite, Butch. Basically, what happened on that goal was the fourth line got hemmed in our own end for 40 seconds, and we finally got the puck out of our end. Wallstrom changed, and we dumped the puck into the end, and our 2 remaining fourth liners went in on the forecheck, and Holmstrom came out and scored a beautiful goal. So it wasn't the fourth line. But I don't know what was with Butch tonight. He was calling the Holmstrom line the fourth line all night when in what world would Matt Martin be on the third line? Like get serious. Now credit where credit's due though. Even though Martin didn't get a point on that play, he did force the play by coming in on the forecheck. So I'll give him that out of the whole situation. But in the second period, Jack Hughes ties it up on the power play. We just can't go on the PK anymore. We're going to give up goals for sure every game. If 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 we have three if we have to kill 3 penalties in a game, we are definitely going to give up at least 1 goal, and that's just pretty much the pattern that we're working at is but at a 66% clip of how we're killing penalties right now, and Devils made it look easy. Jack Hughes from Hamilton and Bratt. Uh, yeah. So we need to stay out of the box. I wasn't disappointed that the Islanders didn't get any power plays tonight because what the heck, we don't score on them anyway. So we're a better 5-on-5 team. So I'll take our power play time at 5-on-5. We got a better chance. At least that's the way it seems. As long as you can keep the other team down low in the penalty department, which we did tonight, but we only gave up two, but we still get scored on. So there's that. So anyway, after the second period, it's looking like 1-1 game. I'm kind of thinking, well, Jersey's a good team. Jersey's a team that we could be fighting with for if we have any inkling of wanting to try to get into the top three. Jersey is definitely a team we'd be fighting. So as well as 1-1 felt and getting a point and whatnot, which is important for a couple of reasons. As I said, going out into the road at least 500 is better than going on the road under 500. But if we're going to compete with Jersey to take one of those spots away from them, we have to kind of beat them in regulation. So that's what we need to do. And then I started to get my hopes up. Cholowski, our only defenseman to score a goal this year, scores his second of the year. His defense is a detriment, but he does have some offense getting that second goal of the year. And another beautiful play by Simon Holmstrom on forecheck. And then he contained the puck, did a spinorama, and laid a beautiful pass on Cholowski's stick. So Simon really starting to come into his own a little bit here in the last 5 games. Great job by Simon there. Engvall also picking up an assist on the play as well. And just shortly after that, like a minute and 56, Brock Nelson scores the sixth of the year from Palmieri and Sipikov. And man, that was a beautiful goal. The Islanders just came flying out of the line with crisp passes, and they passed all the way down the ice. Snap, 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 snap. Beautiful goal. Brock finally buries one, gets the monkey off his back, and that was a big one for Brock. You could see the relief in his face when he scored that goal. So anyway, things are looking fantastic. Now I'm thinking, yes, we're going to get that regulation win against Jersey, but still in the back of my mind, I know there's 12 minutes left, and sure enough, Dawson Mercer gets a goal, and I guess if there's one thing, and I'll talk about when I talk about the players, if there's one little bad thing that I noticed is that Isaiah George has a tendency to get beaten to the outside, and it's never a bad beat, but it's a beat that the guy who is going around him still has control of the puck and can do whatever he wants. He can either shoot or he can pass. So he's kind of getting taken off guard, and I think he's kind of used to his speed with his skating, being able to make up for when a guy tries to go around him like that in junior. Well, that might work in junior, but that's not going to work in the NHL. And I've noticed it in his games. If there was one thing I noticed was getting beat to the outside, getting beat to the outside. So his angles aren't good. And he's getting taken off guard with when a guy, a guy who changes speeds, and they always change speeds when they go to make that move. They go slow and then they go fast, and Isaiah just doesn't seem to be anticipating that quick enough. So other than that, that's really I'm just picking at him for that one there. And other than that, he's been playing great. So it's 3-2, and of course it comes down to a 6-on-5. And what are the odds of the Islanders scoring back-to-back games in an empty net goal? 0 and 0. And the worst part about it is they really had no great pressure or chance for a goal, and it's just the hockey gods beat us on that one. So that ties up the game, and grab ourselves a point at 3-3, and I'm happy that we got a point, because like I said, overall, if you took the whole scope of the game, we kind of got outplayed a little bit. Not like I said, not like a lot, but basically Jersey deserved two tonight. We deserved one. So we kind of got what we were looking for. However, I thought we definitely had the better of the overtime. It was pretty exciting overtime, disappointing finish, but And then to look up at the scoreboard and see that Ilya gave up 4 goals tonight, and I go, my God, how? Like the guy was just so outstanding for us. Uh, Without him in the net, it could have been 10 tonight. He made some spectacular saves. So anyway, we fall 4-3 to the Devils, and that kind of sucks. But getting that point is important for us going out on the road in the collecting the points department. When we entered this game, we entered still sitting in ninth place where we left off. And that just goes to show you that things are starting to stretch out a little bit. But before we entered the game, we'd already fallen back into 10th spot because Buffalo won their game. But with the Islanders getting their point, it moves us up into a tie for eighth. But technically, once tiebreakers and everything come in, we're sitting down at 10th spot. But point wise, we're sitting at tied for eighth in the conference right now, which is pretty much all you can ask for with the 5 regulars that we've got injured right now. So, great job by the team. Keep it up, boys. Keep working hard. You do. It's obvious to tell they're trying. Like I said, they didn't have their best effort of the night tonight. It took a while for them to wake up. Sipakov, I thought he had another stellar game. Got himself another assist, another point, another plus. 17 minutes of ice time. Only 1 shot on net tonight, though. He definitely wasn't as dominating as he normally is, but my God, he uses that body so well. And I hope you people were watching the breakouts tonight with Max on how he does it right every single time, and it's just absolutely amazing. So, not Max's best game, but definitely still a solid game from Max. Our second line wasn't our second line wasn't playing tonight like they have been. So, and I thought Max was the reason they've been driving the line as of late, but they ended up getting a big goal for us, and so that was positive. But overall, the second line tonight was not as good as they normally are. Simon Holmstrom, well, I'm finally for the first time starting to see something in this guy. Like I keep hearing from the coaches and everything about what a great practice player is and what a solid hockey player is, and I just haven't been seeing it. But the last 5 games of Holmstrom's Islander career have definitely been the best 5 games of his Islander career in my opinion. He's just doing a lot of things right out there right now. Great passes. He's getting shots off. He's controlling play. And he was rewarded tonight with 17 minutes and 13 seconds of ice time. And it was earned. You could see he stuck out there tonight. Bo Horvat is I'm holding him responsible for waking up the Islanders in the second period. It was Bo who started that shift off with a bang in the corner, and then hit another player, stole the puck, and then the Islanders from that point woke up because for the first period and a half we were a pretty sleepy team, and if it wasn't for Bo's leading by example, which is kind of what he did. And then all of a sudden, the other 2 guys on his line kind of started feeling the vibe and they started hitting, Anders started hitting, and they were grooving. And then all of a sudden, the second line came out after that and they were feeling it and everything was going good. And it's like, oh man, 2 really good shifts in a row. We're starting to turn this thing around, send out our third line with Holmstrom and everything, and they're keeping them pinned. And I'm going, oh, finally we've woke up. And then the fourth line comes out. Yeah. And we absolutely get pinned in our end for the next minute. And what momentum we had uh, was lost from that point. However, the one thing it did was it woke up the Islanders. And so they sporadically played well for the rest of the last period and a half. Enough to have been able to win the game tonight, but definitely enough to get us a point. So uh big tip of the cap for Bo Horvat tonight. He definitely led by example tonight. Great job, Bo. Matt Martin. I'm going to give him credit for forcing that play even though he didn't get an assist, the defenseman saw him coming and he got rid of the puck real quick and put it right on McLean's stick and McLean over to Holmstrom. And there we go. We got ourselves a goal. So I'm going to give Martin credit for that. Other than that, I cannot give him much credit for anything because we were hemmed in the entire 7-10 that he was basically on the ice. 7 minutes and 10 seconds for Martin is too much ice time. Any ice time is too much for him right now, but 7 is just too much. It's like why that fourth line came out to kill our momentum the way they did. I get it. I know you can't play with three lines forever. You're going to kill your team. You're going to wear them down, and you eventually got to get them out. But you could see what was going on tonight with the Devils. They were putting they were putting their fourth line out in all the offensive zones. So Patrick thought he could get away with matching fourth against fourth, and their fourth line just totally dominated our fourth line. So uh, by having them come out for defensive faceoffs, even though it was against the other fourth line, not good, not good, not good. Send somebody out there to uh, send a line out there with the instructions. Once you get it and dump it in, come off, and we'll send the fourth line out against their fourth line. But good Lord, let's not get hemmed in like that. Uh, we're gonna have hard times with Martin being dressed. That's all I can say about that. Pierre Engvall missed another pass tonight with his wonky stick placement as the puck just went right through the middle of his stick because it wasn't lying flat on the ice. Could have been another possible breakaway. However, I'm not going to get mad at Pierre. I didn't think he was great, but I didn't think he was bad either. He did pick up an assist, so there's that. And overall, for Pierre, for the last 4 games or so, are okay. I'll take that's pretty much what we're gonna get out of Engvall. So what we got in the last 4 games, as long as he plays that kind of way, I can live with it. As long as he's not a detriment to the team. Right now, he's not hurting us. So at least in the last 4 games or so. So I guess good job, Pierre. I didn't think Kyle had his most effective night tonight. I thought he woke up when the rest of the team woke up in the middle of the second period. And however, he got himself a nice little assist, giving him a +1 for the night with 18 minutes of ice time, getting off one shot. So uh, it just didn't stick out. The whole second line didn't stick out. They've been a little last 2, 3 games have been a little stagnant. It was nice to see Brock score, so hopefully that'll wake up that part of the line and the second line will get pumping again. But it was okay because the first line picked up for the second line tonight, where the last game the second line picked up for the first line tonight. And that's kind of how you do it by committee anyway. So it's not like the second line had a horrible night. So there's that. Oliver Wahlstrom, I thought he did what he could do, but he's basically being anchored down by Martin. Yeah, he gets an extra minute and a half than Martin, but the time that he's out there with Martin, him and both Kyle, just it's hard for them. It's hard for them. It's so hard for them. They can't it's hard for them to break out of their own end with Matt Martin there. Matt Martin is slow as molasses. He has board work in that, but he's not a great passer. And that it's just a recipe for disaster. I know you shouldn't get mad when you got 5 injuries, but we should have never signed the guy in the first place. And like if you haven't, if Matt, if you stumble on this and haven't seen my earlier videos, I really do love you. Just not this year. You should have retired. You should have retired. I really do love you, Matt. Honest to God. Anders Lee, wow, you know what? He may be having one of his best seasons he's ever had. He looks so good. He looks so good. Even Butch said it tonight that he may be faster than he's ever seen him skate. It's nice to hear somebody else say it in the media because to me it's glaringly obvious how much faster he's been this year. And you know what really bothers me about people? I hate when fans pigeonhole a player. It's like I go on Twitter and that, and I take a look. Oh, Anders Lee can't skate. He's just a burden to the team and that. And I'm going like, come on, man. That's a narrative from days gone past. I don't know what your eyes are showing you right now, but Anders Lee right now is faster than he has ever been, and in no way is Anders Lee's skating hurting him right now. His board play is unbelievable. His board play this year has been so dominating. Nobody can do anything against Anders when they're along the board. And man, he's just been playing some really good hockey. Really super excited to see the captain leading us like that. Really good game. Anders is great season so far. Keep up the good work. Nelson, look, getting a goal could be big. That could be just what we need to ignite Nelson. And it was funny, even before the goal he scored, I was kind of actually noticing some other things with Nelson to kind of go, oh, maybe he's starting to come out of this a little bit. And then lo and behold, he scores pretty much about 5 minutes after I had that thought. Uh, so not a great game by Brock, but he's got a goal plus one, 19 minutes of ice time, two shots on net. Can't complain with that, especially if he's breaking out of a little mini slump here. It's hard to say he's in a slump because he's got 6 goals and already this year, which is excellent pace for him. Kyle McLean, I've already pretty much talked about him. Beautiful pass on that goal, so he definitely earned his assist tonight for sure. That was really well done. Really well done. I'm happy for him to see him get some success, but I just feel so bad for him being weighed down there by the anchor, and that's pretty much exactly what it is. There's nothing more I can say than that. Pajot, I didn't think had as good a game as he did last game, but my God, he made some beautiful defensive plays out there. Uh, he really did. Uh, he overall his defensive game tonight was solid, and I don't think he had a bad game. It was just he had such a good game last game that it wasn't up to those standards. But overall, he's logging a lot of minutes of ice time out there, taking a lot of face-offs, and our team's, well, what's that? Our 14th game in a row, we've won the face-off circle. So battle. So uh yeah, just not his best game, but still a pretty good game. Cizikas, I thought was a little better tonight. Still trying to find his way is Zeker, but yeah. I noticed he seemed a little more engaged in play and at least seemed to be making things happen, making some good plays on some breakouts and whatnot. Good for check. So I don't know how much more we can expect out of Zeker. I really don't. He's out of place right now. He belongs on the fourth line where he should be. But right now, we just can't do that. He's not fourth line material right now, but he's sure having a hard time fitting in on that third line. Uh, Ryan Pulock just being a beast again tonight. Couple of shots, 3 block shots. He was -1, but if they're logging so much ice time like that and playing such good defense for us, and he's trying to engage and get into play on the offensive zone too as well. So no complaints from Ryan at all. I thought Dobson had a pretty good game. He was way up there in ice time again at 29 minutes. But I saw one play that he made that he never would have made before, and I had a flash in my head, and I going like, "No, are you watching my podcast or something?" Like I couldn't believe it. I've literally never seen Noah do this ever before. It was like a 2-on-1 with Noah, and the puck went into the corner. Now, sometimes Noah will stay down and forecheck, but this time when he went into the corner to forecheck, he just lunged his body out and went slamming into the boards and the glass. And I go, Noah, whoa, where'd that come from? I love it. I love it. Normally, Noah's just, he's either going to take a couple of stabs at it with his stick or he's going to peel back and go back to play in defense. But I was super pumped about that play. Well done, Noah. Noah ends up being a -2 tonight. One's the fluky goal. Yeah. I don't think the minus really indicates the kind of game that Noah had tonight. I didn't really see any of it reflecting on him personally. So Scott Mayfield is just killing the plus minus department as he picks up another plus tonight. And Scotty played himself 23 minutes of ice, and he's just playing super defense for us. He does everything we ask him. He had 4 hits out there tonight. And if there's one thing the Islanders really needed tonight was some hits to wake us up because we weren't awake. Hitting always wakes a team up, whether you're being hit or whether you're the team doing the hitting. Watching your buddies hit everybody is fun, and you want to be a part of that. And you like, and once you see your buddy make a good hit, you want to show, hey man, I can do this too, and give him a good hit. Or if you're being hit, that'll wake you up too in a hurry. Unless you're just not into it that night, which is what I've talked about before in my past podcasts. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes a guy just doesn't want to be hit, just doesn't want to be hit just for that night. Just for that night. I know it sucks, and I know you can say, oh, you should be a professional on that. But unfortunately, people are human, and that's just a human nature kind of thing. Some days you just don't feel it. How many people would enjoy waking up in the day knowing, oh, I'm going to get hurt today? I mean, you don't play a hockey game, or you don't play it properly at least, and come away from any single hockey game you ever play and not have something hurt. Something hurts. You did something in that you got a stick somewhere or something happened. You're hurting. So some days the human body just doesn't feel like getting hurt. And that is just a fact. That is just a fact. So the next time for people who don't play sports and that, and you get upset for a guy not engaging and stuff like that, well, maybe if you woke up in the morning knowing that you were going to get hurt that day, you might feel the same way. Like I said, I know they get a lot of money, but they're still human. So great game by Scotty. Chalosky, he logged 8 minutes of ice time tonight, but that's where you just kind of keep him. You take whatever positives and whatever warts you get with him in 8 minutes. And tonight was positives instead of warts. He ends up a plus minus with a beautiful goal. And he got himself a penalty tonight. One shot on net, obviously. Grant Hutton. I thought Hutton had a really good game. Really, man, there was a play there where it looked like New Jersey was going to get a breakaway, and the comeback he made to break up that play and not make that happen was fantastic. I saw another point in the game. We were getting hemmed in a little bit, and the puck was in the corner, and there was lots of guys in there. And the first thing when the puck came to Hutton would be to whack and crack it around the boards or something, get away from it. He just held on to it for that little extra second and realized, well, if I move this way, there might be an out there. And he did. He found it. And all of a sudden, he came flying out of that pack of about 5 people, and all of a sudden was leading an odd man rush for the Islanders, just like that. So, really some impressive play by Hutton. He logged himself 16 minutes of ice time tonight. So, uh, we're getting what you would expect out of Hutton. He almost scored tonight too. He had a hell of a shot. He had a couple shots on net. He also had a couple block shots. So, uh, I was impressed with him in preseason. I'm impressed with him in this patch-up work that he's doing as well. As for Isaiah George, another 24 minutes in ice time tonight was absolutely just amazing for a rookie defenseman of his stature. But I noticed some rookie warts tonight out there. Not enough to say he's playing bad or anything, but I noticed some rookie stuff out there, and I definitely have noticed the tendency to be getting blown by by the forwards on his outside to his left is he needs some work on that. And I think it's more either he needs to be ready for it or he needs to work on his angles a little better than what he's doing. Like I said, I think he's just so used to being able to make up with his mistakes with speed and junior That just doesn't cut it in the NHL. And he's going to need to learn. I know he's a finesse kind of guy, but he's not allergic to the contact. I've noticed that. He's going to have to start leaning that body into them and going around with them right behind the net. Like Pollock and Pellick have mastered over the years, and that's what he needs to do. Other than that, fantastic game. Really, for a rookie of that caliber and to be logging 24 minutes and 7 seconds of ice time is really outstanding. He had one hit tonight. He also had a block shot. So really good there. Ilya Sorokin, man, do I feel bad for Ilya tonight? He deserves such a better fate than what he got tonight. He literally kept us in the game. He's the reason we got a point tonight. Him and Holstrom are the main reason the New York Islanders walk away from here with a point. So you got to take that for what it is. So uh yeah, it really sucks for his save percentage and stuff like that. I just can't believe he gave up 4 goals because he was spectacular tonight. He really was. Anyway, so we basically sit at 500, heading out onto our West Coast swing. And we need to pull some rabbits out of the hat. We need a few victories on this road trip. Hopefully the guys will bond really good together in that. I'm kind of disappointed that I won't be able to get to the Vancouver and Seattle game, but hey, life happens every once in a while. And like I said, I'll get them next year. So hopefully we come up with a good road trip. But I do want to say up to this point right now, what are we at? We're at about the 5 game mark and probably around the 7 game mark for Barzell and Duclair and all those guys being out. And to be hanging around at 500, I believe we were below 500, even 1 game below 500 when all these injuries happened. So to be 500 still after this amount of time, which means 2 weeks, that's 2 weeks at a 4 or 6 week injury. So uh, basically got 4 more weeks to go. Just hanging around. Who knows? So, looking forward to the West Coast trip. I usually always get a few more viewers on the West Coast trip because some of you Easterners can't stay up past midnight, or you turn into Cinderella or something. All right, guys. So anyway, like I said, overall, I'm not too disappointed with grabbing a point tonight, but looking forward to this road swing, and hopefully the boys will bond as a team together. Which I loved road trips. I loved them. I loved getting away. It was fantastic. I don't know why any hockey player wouldn't enjoy a road trip. Getting away from life and getting out there and just going from place to place and playing hockey is a fantastic thing to be able to do. So anyway, so that's pretty much all I got for you tonight. I hope all you guys and girls out there take care and